The spring season is finally here, which means we got to start thinking about spring cleaning.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. If you need a little help, don't stress out. Molly Real is learning a few tips. Molly, good morning.
Good morning. Tips that I need, spring cleaning, those words cause a little bit of anxiety for me. My husband gets really enthusiastic about it, wants to talk about it, and I'm like, oh, I just freeze. So luckily, we have Tidy with Trista here to take us through it all. And Trista, I am just very unorganized person. Every time I meet with you, though, I walk out that door feeling a little bit more like, oh, I can do it. And I think with spring cleaning, it's such a overall umbrella term, right? Yeah. But your tips are just like one thing at a time.
Yes, we always want to make it accessible and make it doable. So like you said, spring has sprung, so the sun is shining, we want our homes to be shining too. So before I jump into my tips, I want to make sure that we always preface it with decluttering, right? Anytime we're going to tackle an organizing space, we want to start with decluttering. That's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. So specifically, we're going to talk about under the kitchen sink today. So if you've remodeled your kitchen and you no longer have granite countertops, we don't need that granite countertop cleaner anymore. We've gone into clients and there's, just things that aren't being used anymore. So decluttering is always where we want to start. Okay. So like you talked about, everyone is so enthusiastic right now, but my first tip kind of puts the brakes on. I know we're so excited to get organized and clean everything, but we don't want to be overwhelmed. So tip number one is to start small. So whether that's going to be a drawer in your kitchen or even a drawer on your desk, your purse, what we're going to talk about is under the kitchen sink, just something that you can tackle in a short period of time, get those quick wins, get those train wheels of momentum going, and then you can start tackling the big things. In organizing world, right now is garage season because it's beautiful, but please don't start in your garage. Don't start in your giant walk-in closet. Don't start in your walk-in pantry.
It's like training for a marathon by running 20 miles. You want to run one first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. Let's start a quick jog, and then we'll get the momentum going. So starting small is going to be key. Okay, so tip number two is really when you're organizing that area, only keep things that you're going to use in that space. So for me, I reorganized under my kitchen sink. I'm not going to keep my bathroom cleaner under my kitchen sink because that's not where I use my bathroom cleaner. That's going to take more effort for me to grab the bathroom cleaner and walk all the way to the bathrooms. It just doesn't make sense. So, and most of us don't have excess space under the sink, right? So we have to be really intentional with what stays under there. So just what you're going to use and keep it there. Same thing, a drawer in the kitchen. Are you using this in this area? Does it need to live here?
Okay, now a brief moment of levity for all of us who are a little intimidating by organizing experts. Here is a before picture of Trista's sink. Now, Trista, I'm not saying this is like, crazy, but this was actually your kitchen sink before you organized it.
Yes, and I actually shared this like a week ago on Instagram, and I was like, I'm embarrassed to show this because as a professional organizer, the expectation is like your home is beautifully organized. But I live and I have, I have little kids, and I knew I wanted to redo the systems. The systems weren't working for us. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get to it when I get to it. And it just kept, I could just let it go. And now, it took 30 minutes out of the day and zhuzhed it and got it taken care of. So tip number three, this is going to be what keeps your system organized for a long term, and that's going to be to contain and label. So contain when you can, when it makes sense, but definitely label. Labeling is the roadmap of maintaining your organization for your household. So getting organized is a household affair, so we want to put labels there so that everyone knows where things go, and it'll help it stay that way. That's what creating a system is. You guys hear the term system in the organizing world. So making sure that things return to where they belong, and everyone can partake in the maintenance.
Okay, she also used the word boundaries, meaning this container right there, you can only put as many bags as you have in there. So that's a boundary. Like, yes. You're going to run out of room, so don't keep more bags than you have. Don't keep more dish soap than you have room for. Right. Really good tips. Thank you for putting me a little bit more at peace with all of this. If people want more organizing advice, where do they go, Trista?
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Tidy with Trista, or if you want a space organized, tidywithtrista.com.